The government will launch a new national movement for sports called ActiveSG to encourage Singaporeans to participate in sports. It has also set up a $25 million kitty for Singapore sports associations to tap over 5 years to encourage innovative ideas that could take competitive sports to the next level. In this week's Spotlight, John Leong looks at how encouraging ground-up participation could go hand in hand with excellence at the highest levels in building a lasting sporting culture.
Winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. It's a quote that will resonate with all top athletes, including those in Singapore. And they will now have even more help to achieve that goal with the newly launched SPEC Scholarship. High potential athletes will be able to focus entirely on their craft and on winning. Scholars can receive up to $90,000 a year for training, competition and equipment. There's also support for an athlete's education, career and personal development.
If we looked at this as the state giving the athletes money so that they can achieve an outcome, then this system would go the wrong way. What we want to position the support to these athletes is that they themselves must first own the passion to want to do well in sports. And with the support given to them, they're able to then, come closer to realizing their dreams.
These dreams would include competing at the highest level, such as the Olympics, Asian Games or World Championships. It's with this in mind that the SPEC Scholarship was modelled on systems in countries that traditionally do well at the global level.
Today, if you want to compete at that level, you need to have a system to allow your athletes to train full-time. So for us, it is a question of how do we then create that system within the context of the Singapore society so that it's able to match the needs of our athletes so that they develop in a balanced manner in both in sports, professionally, as a student, as a professional, in a balanced manner.
Australia was one of the countries that the SSC studied as it formulated the SPEC Scholarship. It ranks in the top 20 for countries that have won the most Olympic medals per capita. At the same time, it boasts a strong amateur sporting scene. According to a 2011 government study, nearly 2/3 of the population claimed to be taking part in some form of sport. Only 2 in 5 Singaporeans over the age of 13 did likewise in 2011. And Australia may provide some hint to what more goes into a winning formula. Ed Clark used to play professional Australian football with the Sydney Swans. He now trains the Singapore Wombats, an amateur organisation that helps Australians here keep fit and meet new people. Clark believes Australian parents may have different priorities for their children compared with their counterparts here.
There's a big emphasis on health and well-being, and good energy, good fitness levels will also help them back at school and help them focus when they are at school. So it's part of our lifestyle that we do expect kids to be out and about and quite healthy. And I think that's enforced. The parents are actually kicking their kids off the Xboxes and saying go out and play with your friends down the street. So
this is an area that Singapore is hoping to improve on. Vision 2030 is a project driven by the Singapore Sports Council and the Ministry of Culture, Community and Youth, and aims to get Singaporeans living better through sport. Early signs indicate it may not be as daunting as it seems. For instance, the Singapore Marathon last year drew 54,000 runners, up from the several thousand who ran in the inaugural event in 1982. The People's Association is also doing its bit. It partners community sports clubs to organize weekend activities that range from brisk walking to badminton to boating.
It reached out to all the residents of all ages, races, and then we also include the new residents. It's more through bonding. Sports is very powerful, involving everybody, so we bring everybody together in whatever areas you want to do.
Chipping in to develop Singapore's amateur sports scene is ESP Zen, which was started in 2004 to fill gaps in the amateur football infrastructure.
We would turn up on a weekend to a game and maybe the pitch was double booked, or maybe a referee didn't turn up, or maybe we were playing the same team 4 weeks in a row. And basically we identified a need in Singapore for amateur players to be able to play in a very professional structure and a well-organised league.
Now, nearly 3,000 Singaporeans from some 200 teams compete every week across its various football leagues and divisions in up to 20 pitches island-wide. Teams compete in a promotion and relegation system and must write match reports after games. And the Ground Up League has had its share of success at the higher levels. According to ESP Zen, at least 6 players have gone on to play in the S-League. Patrick Paranjodi is currently on the books at Woodlands Wellington. He also won his first international cap for Singapore in 2012. And after gracing local football's premier stage, he's giving back to the community by setting up his own amateur football league.
There's not all avenues for everyone to play. Social football is a good platform, so maybe we'll uncover another talent, just a young talent waiting to come out.
Providing such wide opportunities for ordinary Singaporeans to shine is a key philosophy behind Bowen Secondary School's co-curricular programs. Its taekwondo and girls football teams accept all students regardless of prior background. Yet, they are highly competitive. The taekwondo team has delivered 6 national titles over the last 5 years. The girls football team took home 4 championships in the same period. The school believes being inclusive and having fun are key reasons for the CCA's success.
This actually brings about a different dimension to the CCA, and they stretch themselves in that way. Interestingly, when it all comes together, they perform really well at competitions. So winning is never the starting priority, but through the process and through working together, they achieve a lot of good results.
Perhaps Bowen provides a glimpse of what Vision 2030 really is: sport without boundaries, with an emphasis on resilience, tenacity and community. This in turn creates a larger talent pool, increasing the chances of success, so Singaporeans of all backgrounds can rally behind a winning team.